Okay. So the projects in the pipeline are...
Yeah, well, some of the projects in the pipeline, like one of them that we've been talking about here for the last couple of years is a mapping system where the current route match software that we have actually will communicate where the buses are, so that if someone looks on their phone and says, hey, I want to know where bus so-and-so is and I'm waiting for them to come up, it'll actually show them on a map.
Okay, that's what we were talking about with Fred Peters. The one I'm familiar with is ride systems there at a lot of universities, hospitals.
Yeah.
Waco uses them.
Yeah.
And so you can pick what route you want, or all of them. They're all colored differently, and then they have an icon that moves around and red dots that for the bus.
And
yeah, that would be heaven.
In Route Match, we already have the part of the ability to do that.
Yeah.
The problem is we're missing the other layer to actually put that out to the public.
Yeah.
And that's what we're missing with Route Match. Now, and when I say that other layer, because internally we can do that. And that allows us to see where our buses
and
are.
you have a monitor at the depot that shows.
Yeah, and we don't put that out for the public because it's for our internal consumption. It allows us to look at where the buses are.
Yeah.
And if somebody calls us, we can say X. It's just that other layer that's missing to bridge it and communicate it out.
We've had some problems calling up and getting that information.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like it hasn't been working in the last 3 or 4 weeks very well.
It depends on who you called and talked to. Because
we called J.D. Meyer is a regular transit user. We were at a meeting with Christina Folsom, is it? Or Christina...
From the Human...
Yeah, Human Needs Network. We were leaving her office and wanted to find out when the bus would be coming by Shiloh Road.
Oh, yeah.
And we got put on to voicemail for Heather, and she's not even in the state anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, she's in Ohio.
So, yeah, I'll call you back. So we're waiting for bus information. So that one didn't work. Yeah. Another one was when it was raining, like in February, and JD was trying to come to the meeting, the transportation meeting, and he called the depot. They didn't know where the bus was. He was 25 minutes standing in the rain. He knew that he could walk somewhere to catch another bus, the red or something. He eventually showed up a little bit late, but not.
Yeah, well, you got to understand one thing. When it's raining, we tell all the buses slow down.
Yeah, okay.
At that point in time, when it's raining and it's snowing and stuff like that, I always tell the buses, I don't care about the timing.
Yeah.
All I care about is safety. Because to stop that bus, and a bus that weighs well over X amount of pounds on brick streets, exactly, and on some of these slick roads, you'll take out a car. So in those situations, I always tell all the buses, slow down, go below the speed limit, and be safe. Yeah. I prefer safety over time limits.
Right, I understand.
In that regard.
But the thing is,
if you called in February, so in February we had an issue where we actually had some employee changeover, and so if you talk to one particular employee, then she didn't know. She was still training, trying to figure out how to work the system.
Okay.
Now, we have had some technical difficulties, but in regards to, because the way our route match system works, we have tablets on all the buses, and these tablets are actually what are communicating out to route match, and you can even look on Route Shout to give you that predictability of when a bus is going to arrive to your location. Okay? Now, Route Shout itself won't give you a map at this point in time because we're missing that other layer. But what it will do is it'll tell you, if I'm at this shelter, what is the predicted time that my bus is supposed to get here? And you can use Route Shout to do that.
Is that with a text thing or something where you text?
You can text as well,
and it'll tell you how many minutes it's going to be.
Yes. Now,
but you have to, so a text, any phone that texts. So that would be like a, Obama phone or whatever we call it.
Yes.
I guess. It's not a smartphone, but it
doesn't have to be a smartphone. Yes.
So that works.
Now, if you have a smartphone, then you can actually see it on your phone that says, "This is the predicted time for X."
And that's currently I've tried to use Route Shout, and it seems like I have to know where every intersection, where every stop is.
They're doing an upgrade to the Route Shout system, not us, but the Route Match itself. But there is a.
Gonna miss you, darling.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for my lean signal. I'm still loving it.
Cool.
It's beautiful. Anytime you want to come check it out, see all your great work.
All right, thank you. Okay. So The Route Shout app, if you look on it, you can actually select locate me. And it'll
It'll
locate
show you where you are.
And it'll show you where you're at. And then from there, you're able to select the stop.
But you have to know the intersections of where the stops are. It doesn't really show you a map.
No, because that's not the layer that we have.
Yeah. Okay. So what does
But
it
it
take
should-
to get that layer?
About $52,000.
Okay. Are you familiar with ride systems at all?
We're not switching to other system.
Yeah.
I can tell you that because we've already spent so much money with Route Match, and Route Match is the service that we use here in Tyler Transit. So to switch over to a whole new system will take an enormous amount of money to do so, and so we're not switching systems. Route Match can do what you're asking of us to do.
Yeah.
The only thing is that we have to be able to get the funds
Right.
to do it.
And I called up to get an estimate from Ride Systems.
Again, we're not switching
Yeah, I
systems.
understand. But, their estimate was a maximum of $10,000.
I understand,
Six
but again,
routes.
we're not changing systems.
There's no way to incorporate it or something.
No, because they don't talk to Route Match.
Yeah.
Route Match is a proprietary software that's used, and I would recommend that you go to what is the website? There is a website that you can do. I want to say it's in the Georgetown area. I believe it is. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember the exact city.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah, in the Washington D.C. area, that will actually have Route Match, and they have the Route Match mapping software.
Okay.
And you go to the website.
It's
and
open.
Yeah,
It's open?
it's
Okay, so
I'm so sorry you're leaving. Are you going to work with Mark McDaniel?
yes, I am.
Tell him I said hello.
I will.
When they got in that Trinity River project, it's like, oh, gee, is that a challenge?
It's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
So
Georgetown.
yeah, I want to say it's that area. I can't remember exactly if it's that specific one. There's a whole bunch of them. All you have to do is look up Route Match mapping, and it'll bring you up to certain cities. And I can't
So
remember.
how many cities are they in?
Oh God, there's a whole bunch of them. I don't even know the exact number, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But if you look on their websites, okay, you'll be able to see where the buses are.
I
You'll be
tried,
able to look.
I probably need some help with locating those. I tried, a while back, and I've sort of got lassoed into the ride systems because it seemed like, really easy.
Well, it's very simple when you use the Route Match. I know you're not a fan of Route Match just from talking to you.
Well, it's
But-
just because I haven't had anybody show me how I can use it in the way I'd like to. So I like to use my bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I moved to Portland, Oregon because of transportation alternatives, and I use it all the time.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
you also-
integrated with bicycles, and then you can see where the routes are, and you know exactly when they're going to be there.
Right. But you also got to understand, we're a small urban.
Yeah, I understand.
That's a major urban.
Yeah, no.
And so they get.
That's
they-
what makes this an easy opportunity.
Well, it doesn't, because over there, when you have those large urban areas like DART and Houston's metro,
Yeah.
they actually become a taxing entity, and because they're able to tax all the citizens,
Yeah.
they get additional revenue.
Yeah.
Our revenue, about I hate to say the exact number, but because I don't know off the top of my head, but I would say a good 80% of our funding is by grants, and the other funding is local match. So realistically, we have the money from the grant funding to bring in and do a lot of other things. Problem is that we don't have enough local match. So that's where your organization needs to work with the transit organization to be able to come up to council and say, this is the things why we need the extra local match.
Yeah.
Because the general fund is what's funding that local match.
Well,
If I only have 500,000, I can draw X amount of dollars from the federal government.
I have a tendency to do things
Thanks again. I wanted to thank you guys today. The police
Kind of
chief
bootstrap.
reminded me that
Proof
I'm
of
so
concept.
candid about
built the world's first fog sampler.
Till they can.
Cost me maybe $200. Put it up against Caltech and the State University of New York Desert Research Institute. They all spent up to $500,000 or more on their equipment, and mine performed equally or better than the ones that were, okay. So what I did here is I got a family plan with 4 phones, and you can send out, you know, like a glimpse or some location thing. I guess Google used to have something where you can keep track of it all the time. And if they were just in a bus and you knew, you know, what email to send it to, then that person would be able to see exactly where the buses are, you know, for, in the case of glimpse, 4 hours. So, and that's pretty much $120.
I understand. But
$120 a month.
again, I understand what you're trying to say, but you have to understand our position is that we can't do anything unless the local match is given to us to do it.
But that has to be the
It has to go through the budget
big money,
process.
the big money for the route shop.
For a lot of things.
Because so if it's like a donation or a grant that
if it's
Fred
donation,
Peters is going
yeah,
to
if it's a donation that comes into us, then yeah, it can happen.
yeah,
Because then it becomes the local match.
yeah,
But then we have to continue. Then you have to consider one thing also is that money just pays for this first year. Now you got to think about what about the second year? What about the third year?
yeah,
What about the
yeah.
fourth year?
That estimate had it for them, but for this would be, the other idea I was curious about is if we have, okay, down at the depot, we have a terminal computer monitor that shows the buses moving on.
Internally,
a
yes,
map.
we don't produce that out.
Yeah,
In-
and
inside.
we don't do that, okay. Would it be possible to do like a Ustream like they do on the Eagle Nests? You know, where it's live 24/7, 365? We could just stream on that monitor,
At this point, no, because of the layer I'm talking about.
but if it's available,
It's only
At the
internally,
depot.
but it is. But you have to understand, it's within the system. It only allows it to look at it when we're actually selecting it and telling it to do
okay,
it.
so it doesn't have all the ones running around on a map that are with the routes highlighted
Yes.
for that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's if you called me right now and I said, okay, well, what bus do you want to know? You said red line. Okay, I bring up the map, I select the red line, and it'll tell
okay.
me exactly where
So
it's at.
that complicates things. Okay, so if we want to, okay, you're leaving, but if you were staying, and we wanted to do the route shop layer, what would it take?
Well, in total, it'd be roughly about 54. I got a quote on my desk for it right now.
54,000?
Yeah, it's about 54,000. But that includes a lot of other things on top of not just the map portion of it. It's everything together.
It includes.
It includes an upgrade to our route shop portion, which is basically if you want to just look and just see that one layer, and then we're also incorporating in with our paratransit, so that you can see where our paratransit vehicles are, not just our fixed route vehicles. So it's including a lot more things than just fixed route.
So if we wanted to just do the fixed route,
I mean, it'd be a little bit different, but it wouldn't behoove us to do just fixed route because another big proponent that we have is the paratransit,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of customers that use the paratransit
I'm gonna go
program.
ahead and turn this off.